The fluorescent light of my cramped room hummed, a familiar companion to my late-night anxieties. I was 23, a freshly minted graduate, and the weight of my master's degree in an increasingly competitive world felt less like a stepping stone and more like a millstone around my neck. On my laptop, a perfectly curated Instagram feed showed a friend from a study abroad program, beaming in front of her new apartment in Brooklyn, her caption reading, "First solo place." A hollow laugh escaped me. Adultin in her world. Turning 18 meant a push towards university, a student job that actually paid enough to cover rent, and the sweet taste of independence. Here, in India, it felt like the system was designed to keep you tethered. I'd spent months, years, scouring job boards for part-time work, something that wouldn't interfere with studies but would offer more than pocket money. The few openings either paid peanuts, required an insane number of hours, or were simply glorified internships, leading nowhere. Rent in my city was astronomical. A tiny, shared room cost more than I could ever hope to earn. Living independently, it was a fantasy whispered by hopeful Bollywood films, not a realistic aspiration for most of us. Why don't you just get a job, beta? My mother's voice echoed in my head, laced with that new, sharp edge she'd adopted lately. Look at your cousin, so responsible. He started working right after his degree. My cousin, I wanted to retort, had a family business to step into. He wasn't navigating the labyrinthine, highly competitive job market, but I bit my tongue. Arguments were pointless. The new favorite phrase that stung the most was, "Hum tujhe, rahe, hain." We are raising you. It was delivered with a sigh, often when I asked for something small, like bus fare for a job interview. It felt like a taunt, a reminder of my dependency, a thinly veiled accusation of my inability to stand on my own 2 feet. And that was the cruelest irony. They demanded the Western-style independence, but never offered the Western-style support system that makes it possible. There was no concept of a student loan that truly covered living expenses. No abundance of minimum wage jobs that translated to a livable wage. The idea of moving out before marriage, or even before your late 20s, was met with a mixture of shock and disapproval. What will people say? Was the silent, ever-present specter. We were expected to grow up fast, to shoulder the burden of our future, to compete fiercely for scarce opportunities. But without the tools or the enabling environment, we were pressured to be, yet simultaneously held captive by financial realities and cultural expectations. That fostered dependence. My friends felt it too. Our WhatsApp groups were filled with frustrated messages about failed interviews, underpaid gigs, and the constant familial pressure. One friend, a brilliant software engineer, confessed he was still sharing a room with his younger brother because his salary barely covered his own expenses, let alone rent for an independent place. I stared at the glowing screen, at the smiling face in Brooklyn. She had the luxury of a system that supported her journey into adulthood. Here, it felt like adulthood was a distant shore, and we were trapped in a stagnant pool, swimming tirelessly against an invisible current. Our arms heavy with the chains of expectation and limited opportunity. The air in my room, usually just stale, now felt heavy with the weight of unseen burdens, a testament to a generation caught between 2 worlds, yearning for a freedom that remained stubbornly out of reach.